lay this out, the case for this deal. Mellanox specializes in technology that moves massive amounts of data around within computers and, more important, between computers. 5 years from now, what kind of advantage do you think this is going to give NVIDIA?
Yeah, as you know, the data center has become the most important computer in the world. And the workloads that's transforming the data center, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, these applications have so much data and require so much compute, they don't fit on one server. They don't fit on one computer. So you've got to break the problem down into a whole bunch of computers. And so the thing that's really exciting is that the computer no longer starts and ends at the server. The computer in the future would extend into the network. The network is going to become intelligent. The network is going to be smart. The network is going to be part of the computing fabric. And what we want to do is we want to extend our computing reach from the server, where we are today, out to the entire data center. And so this is a very big moment for us. We're doubling down on data centers. We think it's going to be the most important computer of the future. And with this, we could work together with the Mellanox team, who are, as you know, world-class at high-performance computing interconnects for networking as well as storage. We could work with their team to build the future of data centers, architect the future of data centers, basically creating data center scale computers.
So tell me about competitive advantage. How much of this is about software? Mellanox's remote direct memory access software you've praised, it basically allows a bunch of computers to act like one, really low latency, really fast. How practically does that get applied? Is that something that you sort of keep some of that secret sauce for yourself in NVIDIA-specific platforms, or you just become a broader supplier to the whole data center ecosystem?
Well, we're going to keep everything. We're going to keep everything optimized, but we're going to keep everything open as well. You know, if you take a look at the way we work, we develop a really integrated and optimized stack, but then we, if you will, atomize it, and we make it available to the ecosystem so that you could decide to mix and match and build the type of computers you like. And the reason for that is because every customer has different needs, and their data centers have different legacy, and it's important to interoperate in the world of IT, and so we're going to continue to do all of that. What makes this combination so special is that we're combining two companies who are best of breed at what they do. We're the best at accelerated computing. They're the world's best at high-performance interconnects for networking and storage. And now that the future of computing will require us to architect across both of these spaces, this combination makes a ton of sense. But we're going to continue to keep it open. And we're going to work with the entire ecosystem of component makers and systems makers, and hopefully we could advance the industry as fast as we can.
I got to ask about the mechanics of this coming together. This deal is going to require approval in China. A deal just like this basically got busted up because of that. I shouldn't say just like it, but Qualcomm wanted to buy NXP, couldn't get it done. Relations with China have moved on a bit since then, but you got a $225 million breakup fee here. What gives you the confidence that this deal can get done?
Well, our two companies are complementary, and we build computers. We don't build communication systems; we build computers, and so the nature of the work that we do is very different, and our businesses are very different. And so what's going to happen with this combination is that we're going to be able to create better solutions for our customers and for the industry. And advancing innovation is welcome by the industry. And so I think that this is the ability to innovate faster, to advance their technology faster. I think that's going to be welcomed by regulators and customers.
Jensen, this is Morgan. When I hear you talk about this idea that the computer doesn't end with the server, that now it's expanded out into intelligent networks, I mean, I just think about what the implications of that mean from a security standpoint. How are you thinking about it, and how are you thinking about it in a day and age where Now we have reports that the U.S. is telling Germany it would limit intelligence sharing if it allowed Huawei to build the 5G mobile network there, or when you have the Department of Justice here pressing charges against Chinese companies for IP theft where semiconductors are concerned.
Yeah, this is very different than that. This is not network in the public network. This is network inside the data center. In fact, if you look at network traffic, what the industry calls east and west, basically network that's traveling inside the data center, it's growing exponentially, whereas the network that's north and south, data that's going outside the data center, public data centers, public networks, that's growing approximately linearly. And so what's really amazing is the data centers of today are essentially large compute engines. And what we're trying to do, what this deal is all about, is about being able to innovate at the data center scale within the data center. It's really about inside the data center. It's not about public traffic. It's not about networking from a cellular networking perspective, but it's networking in a compute networking perspective inside the data center. And it's really about architecting it in such a way that in the future we'll think about the entire data center as a coherent compute engine instead of hundreds of thousands of servers working separately connected together. It's going to be one giant coherent compute engine. And the architecture implications are very significant, and we want to get ahead of it and build a future. In the meantime, Mellanox's footprint in data centers is larger than Nvidia's because of their history in data centers and their history in enterprise computing. And hopefully, in the near term, we look forward to accelerated growth as we enjoy the footprint that they serve, and then there are areas where we have a larger footprint than them. They can enjoy the footprint that we serve.
Yeah, your points about the architecture, I think, make sense to viewers, Jensen. But as you know, it's been a few months here where investors have been questioning overall growth trajectories. And whenever there's M&A, in the wake of that, people sort of raise their eyebrows and think, well, what is Nvidia seeing about overall growth that would make a deal like this necessary? What do you tell them?
Well, a deal is done when the timing is right. You know, I've loved this company for a long time. We worked with them in supercomputing centers. We built the world's fastest supercomputer, partnering with them and IBM and Oak Ridge National Labs. We use Mellanox in all of our data centers. We use Mellanox in all of the servers that we build called DGX. We sit next to them in projects all over the world. The opportunity here is really about growth, and it's really about growth in data centers. It's about us doubling down on data centers. But otherwise, on a standalone basis, our thesis is sound as ever. You know, the future of data centers is about acceleration. The workloads is about AI and machine learning, and those play right into Nvidia's hands.
Jensen, got to ask you about A.L. Waldman, the co-founder and CEO of Mellanox. Certainly a very important player to have on your team, but he's also an entrepreneur. How long is he going to stick around? What's the agreement between the two of you? And if you can quickly, how long did it take for the two of you to get together and make this deal happen?
Well, I've known E.L. for many years. I love the guy, and he's definitely a visionary. He's an entrepreneur. He's a great leader. He's going to stay. He's going to continue to build out our site in Israel. This is one of the world's great technology centers. They have amazing employees, many of whom we've worked with over the years, building supercomputers and building NVIDIA's DGX and working on software stacks together. This is a friendship we've enjoyed for many, many years, and I'm looking forward to working with E.L. for many more years. And I think that ultimately it's about us coming together to build one of the world's great companies.